Hello, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the Hookah Sesh with Elbreezy podcast. Here with my host.
What up?
So, last time we did a podcast, not much views, but this is something that we're going to be doing for the time being, because something fun we like to do.
Yeah.
Alright. This was the Hookah Sesh that we're smoking today is a mixture of iced orange mint and lemon mint, both from the Trifecta brand, the blonde leaf brand, and we call it a house mix called Team Federal.
That's right. We call it Team Federal. And because he loves orange mint, and I love alfalfa lemon mint, but any lemon mint. And so we mixed it up, and it actually tastes bombdiggity.com.
Bombdiggitydog.com. We've done this before. We've done a lot of different a lot of different mixes before, but this one was one that we stumbled upon one gloomy day.
Yes.
Let's do something. I like orange mint, you like lemon mint. Let's put it together, and boom, there you go.
Yup.
Team Federal.
And it's amazing, and we haven't looked back. And we smoke it still to this day.
Yeah. So far, is this becoming Halloween? I think I'm going to upload this on the Halloween day.
Yes.
So I think a good topic for this podcast is, what was our ideal Halloween that we've been through?
Like the coolest Halloween, or
Like the best Halloween you've had?
Oh, well, the best Halloween I had was a couple of years ago, where we all hanged out and we actually went to a club. And it was the night where Randy was a DJ that night.
I hated that part.
And that night was special for me because I wasn't Elbreezy that night. That night I was my alter ego, E. Kruger, and I had some red and black face paint on. And
all true.
And I tried stuffing Randy inside of our brother's car. Now, the reason why we were doing it is because I had an idea as a scientist to see, let's see who we can fit in the trunk and not keep him there for a long time, but just for about maybe 1 or 2 seconds. And we wanted to see if it would work with Randy. So my dumbass hit the fucking stop sign. I don't know why, but as soon as Randy fucking saw me, because the idea was me and my brother, Mr. Sam Barco, we were our different people. He was, I believe, his alter ego, Striker or the Boogeyman, and I was
whatever the heck it was.
And I was my alter ego, the Nightmare E. Kruger. And our plan was to show up to Randy's crib, grab him, stuff him in the trunk. So we were almost succeeding until my dumbass hit the stop sign, and Randy was fucking laughing his ass off. And I said, sorry, fans, this is a fucking blooper. But it really didn't turn out to be a blooper. We weren't
even filming it either. It was just straight up like off out of the blue. Mm-hmm. I knew that was like that Halloween where we went to that bar. Yeah. I was having a DJ there, but the DJ didn't really go so well. Not really gonna talk much about it. But I remember as soon as I was going out, there was popping up into this dude's car, which was our friend George's car, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So out comes this monstrosity with fucking red and black face paint, fucking talking E. Kruger voices or some shit, and he was running towards me, and there was a stop sign literally right in front of me. He hit his head into the stop sign. It made a big boing noise. And then he was like, "Oh, sorry, folks, this is a blooper." I was like, "We're not even filming this."
But no, that was a great time, and also we got to drink that night too. I was drinking some Jack and Cokes that night.
And hella Jack and Cokes, this guy was blacked out.
Well, yeah, I kind of was blacked out because at the time I was depressed about my love life, and still am now. But back then I wanted to drink, and when you're young like us at that timing, we would drink because we had a lot of crazy drinking nights. And We also got to meet a cool guy that night. I met a guy named Manny, I think his name was, and he was a cool guy.
Oh yeah.
He spoke to me, and we were talking, and he even gave me a baseball bat at the end of the night. He said, "Take this with you for protection or something." So I got to take it with me, and Randy over here, he had a beer. He couldn't finish it, so he handed it to me, and let's just say I chugged that one like no tomorrow.
Yeah, the thing is about me and his friendship is if we don't finish a drink, I give it to him. He drinks it, no problem. This guy's got fucking alcohol tolerance of a fucking 70-year-old man.
But no, honestly, that was one of the coolest Halloween nights. And then the next night, I woke up and I said, "What the fuck did we do last night?" Then I called Randy, said, "Doc, what the fuck did we do last night?" And he told me, we did a lot of shenanigans.
That's a lot of shenanigans. So that's a really good story.
So what's your favorite Halloween?
My favorite Halloween, and this was a very, very nice one. We went to this college party in Chicago. Went to this college, party. We were of age, I think. I don't really remember. Maybe we weren't. Who knows? But basically, it was with Sam. It was with Jordan, and his group of buddies. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna." At first, we were at his house playing Smash Bros or something like that. Like he had the GameCube and everything. We had a big tournament, and then they were like, "Oh, you know what? We should probably go to this." They invited us to this house party, and I was like, "All right, bet,
which are always great because you never know what can happen at a house party."
Yeah, so basically, it was me, Sam, Jordan, maybe a couple other guys. George, I think, was also with us. I don't know if he was or not. But we all rode up to that house in Chicago. Really nice people. Beautiful fucking party. They had, Mike's Hard Lemonade. Obviously, I was new to drinking at the time, so I had, Mike's Hard.
And those are good, too.
People were taking shots left and right. There was games. There was music, there was dancing, there was a lot of lovely ladies there too.
Hey, sweet. Hey, like I said, you never know what happens at a house party.
We met a lot of good friends there too, and I had drunk photos with a bunch of people. But overall, the host of the party was a really cool dude. I think he was in his mid-40s, and he was just fun to be around. And I was just interacting with a lot of people from college, and it was just overall a really, really awesome experience, especially for a Halloween party. There was people dressed in costume. I was, of course, dressed in a last-minute costume. I basically looked like Dean Ambrose. I dressed like Dean Ambrose.
Which I still call you still to this day.
With the white tank top and the black jacket or something like that. Those of you who know WWE wrestling, Dean Ambrose is now called Jon Moxley in AEW. So
which is a better thing for him.
He was an icon for me, and I wanted to dress like him for Halloween. A lot of other people were dressed like, I don't know, witches and nurses and
what were the hot females dressed like?
I don't even know. It's such a blur to me now because it was so many years ago, but it was absolutely amazing. I had a great, great time.
Yeah, those were our two best Halloweens. I really liked what he did for his Halloween. I liked what I did. But another cool Halloween I liked was when I was a kid. My sister, she took me to her friend's house, and we were hanging out. And that year, people are gonna wonder what I was dressed as. I was actually dressed as one of my favorite comic book guys, because I also am a comic book fan as well too. So that year, I was dressed as Batman, but I was dressed as the Dark Knight Batman.
Oh, the Dark Knight Batman.
So
nice.
that's the costume that I had. So since people don't know this, I'm legally blind. So it was kind of hard walking around with the freaking Batman mask. But I wouldn't wear it when I would be walking outside. But I would wear it when I would be if I was sitting inside or if I was standing by a wall, I would be wearing it. And some of my sister's friends, they actually believed that I was Batman. They were passing by the wall and they were like, "Are you Batman?" And I was trying to do the deep voice, but I completely failed.
Oh, I can just imagine his voice as a kid. Now, since we're into the topics of Halloween costumes, your favorite one was the Batman one?
Actually, my favorite one was Zorro. One year for Halloween, I was actually Zorro, and I did not have the whip. I had the sword. So that's because I'm a huge Zorro fan as well too. So my top two favorite costumes that I've ever got to do, actually top three, sorry, is E. Kruger was the third favorite one of mine. Second one was Batsy, and then first one must be Zorro.
I've had a good majority of Halloween costumes in my day. There was times where I was dressed up like, let's say, like as a kid, I was dressed up like a space guy, like an astronaut. Other times I was like a Batman, obviously. Maybe.
Which one? Were you the Dark One Knight with like me,
No,
or did you have the white
I,
with the yellow belt?
no, I was the fucked up animated series Batman, the one with like the red and the black.
Mm-hmm.
I was that from a certain point. But then there was a big trend with me with Halloween. I always dress like a nerd, and
That's okay.
I mean I do it just cause like it suits me in a way. Like I have like a nerdy like I can talk like this and I can talk very nerdy and stuff like that. But along the list, sometimes I get too into character with costumes because naturally me making videos is something that I do a lot. Especially as a kid, I made like a ton of like different videos, especially with the nerd character. I've done that a lot, and you've seen some of those.
Oh yeah, and they're very very freaking hilarious. But me, I loved being Zorro because like I'm a huge Zorro fan. I also loved being Batman. But before I was being Batman, the one true costume that I've always wanted to do, but at the time I couldn't get it because they were sold out. My first idea was I really wanted to go as Joker because I'm a huge Joker fan. So I wanted to go as Heath Ledger Joker because that's one of my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
But that costume was sold out. So I was like, what's the next best thing I can do? I was like, alright, how about I be Batsy?
Batsy's good, yeah. You know, Batman
Mm-hmm.
is a very popular costume. There was times I think I was like a soldier at one point. There was a time I bought a banana suit for no fucking reason.
Suit?
I never really wore it on Halloween. I just had it on, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. I took it off. I spent money on that shit too.
Oh, I was also Scream for Halloween one year as well too, because not only that I'm a comic book fan, I'm also a horror fan as well too. That's why E. Kruger is my alter ego, because I love Freddy Krueger. So that's why I came up with E. Kruger.
Yeah, so along with the Halloween theme here, have you ever been into a haunted house?
No, I haven't.
You've never been to a haunted house? Have you ever worked at a haunted house?
No, I've never worked at a haunted house.
Well, a fun thing about me, I don't think if you knew this, but I actually worked at a couple of haunted houses.
Yeah, you've told me before.
Yeah, I told you, but I'm going to tell the viewers right now. So, the first haunted house I did was like, we had like this teen organization, like group called the Teen Center or something like that. It was basically a big like group of like people from like getting out of high school, or getting out of junior high, and we all hang out and stuff. It was basically like a giant clubhouse for us teenagers at the time, prepubescent teenagers at best. But there was a time, I think it was like we rented out this whole like parking lot of this golf course, like the Tamil golf course, and we basically made our own haunted garage theme.
Wow.
We call it the haunted garage because obviously it was a garage, and that's where they put like their golf carts and stuff like that. But we had that exclusively to make like a whole haunted house. And that was really fun. A lot of my friends were working. We were already working in the same room. Some people were working on other rooms. We were able to decorate it the way we wanted to. We could think of the theme. I've had like costumes and stuff like that. I scared a lot of people, and that was really fun.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was probably the highlights of my childhood, which is like basically volunteering for a haunted house. And then after the haunted garage, I actually performed as a haunter, and they now call it House of Torment, but it was called Fear City, Chicago. I was hoping I would get paid for it, but I never did. It was a volunteer job. I was like, fine, because my other friend like wanted to do it. My ex-friend wanted to do it. I was like, all right, yeah, I've done a haunted house before. This will be fun. So I was in House of Torment, which is now called House of Torment, but basically back then it was called Fear City. I worked at Fear City as a haunter. They put me up in like makeup and stuff like that. They have like professional makeup. They have like professional costumes and stuff like that. And it was quite fun, but it was also really like just boring at the same time. I'm sorry to say this, but it was fun scaring people. I've scared some news crews. I've scared some teenagers. I've scared some old men. I've scared a bunch of people. I worked mainly on the. I mainly worked in that asylum, that mental asylum room over at Fear City. I don't know if they still have it, but it's where they had like that drop window where you just like drop it with force and you just pop your head out and it scares the shit out of people. And then there's like this very loud plexiglass room where I just bang on the plexiglass and just like scream like a fucking maniac. Obviously, I know what the fuck I'm doing. And that was pretty fun, but there was also some moments where I was in the black maze. I don't know if you've been inside the black maze, but it's like pitch black. You're nothing but like an all black suit, and they got like different like they have like different ways to get around the maze, and sometimes you could just stand right in front in the entrance, and they'll get scared shitless for about it. But the thing I really hated was the music was playing too much. It was overplayed. It was the same track over and over and over again. It was so loud. It was so black. I was like, oh my god. But overall, my haunted house experience as a haunter was mostly volunteer. I wish I got paid for it because that would be really, really good seasonal job. Mm-hmm. But alas, that never really happened. And I was really good at what I was doing. But eventually I decided to kick that altogether because it was just too much travel, taking off the makeup every night and showing up. Some people don't show up, so you gotta like take the whole reins. And I mean, it was fun for the experience, but overall, it's something I would not recommend unless you really, really like to scare the pants out of people. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone knew that. I was a haunter at a professional, I would say, mediocre professional haunted house company.
But no, that's cool because you get to bash your hand against the plexiglass. Like, I feel like that would be a job for E. Kruger. Like, just stand around in a freaking mental room and just scare the shit out of people. That would be cool. But like you said, like it's not like you get paid. But like he said, if you like to scare the crap out of people, then go right ahead.
Go right ahead. Exactly. It was something fun. I wish I got paid for it though. That was probably my only regret of working at a haunted house as a volunteer worker. I would have loved to get paid to scare people. That would have been really, really fun.
But yeah, I really love Halloween. I've always loved Halloween. It's always been my favorite holiday because of all the different costumes that I've got to be and all the sweet, 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 awesome candy that you get on Halloween.
Oh yeah, have you ever discussed any like trick-or-treating episode you did as a kid where you got so much candy you couldn't finish it all?
Yes. One time when I was Batman, actually, the year that I went as Batman, one year I had a big giant bag of candy. Now, I don't know what was in there. I don't remember how much of what I got, but I had a full giant bag, and let's just say it lasted me for about maybe like 3 or 4 months, maybe? But I don't remember, but I got a big bag, and it was amazing, especially when you're a kid, and you score like that on Halloween. Oh man, yeah. It was amazing.
Crazy good experience, right?
Mm-hmm. What about you, Doc? What's the most that you've ever had?
Let's see, the most candy I ever got for Halloween when I was trick-or-treating at that time. I think we were like in this like random neighborhood. I was with like a group of friends and we all like went to houses and stuff like that. I don't know where exactly it was, but I remember I came home with like maybe 2 or 3 bags full of candy.
Oh my god, you hit the mother load right there.
Yeah, there were some like rich houses and they give us like large bars of candy. You know how that always goes.
Those are the best houses to hit. Tips for kids out there. If you ever go trick-or-treating and if you ever run into a big house, you know you're gonna score.
You're gonna score like a giant ass candy bar because they don't mind spending money for Halloween.
No.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting Halloween places we showed up to. Never really pranked people though. I know a lot of people will prank people during Halloween.
I've never pranked anybody on Halloween. I've never done anything like that, but I have enjoyed passing out candy as well too, because after I got done trick-or-treating, majority of the time I would pass out the candy to everybody that would come by my house. Now there are times, if you ever came to my house, there were times that I was a generous guy, so I threw a little bit of extra for some trick-or-treaters. So if anybody has came by my house on Halloween, and if anybody has remembered, I have slipped a few extra in there, and I wasn't supposed to, but I said screw it, it's Halloween.
Halloween, you gotta do what you gotta do, yeah. As adults now, when we think of Halloween, we kind of don't want to go out. We're just like so used to like our environment now that as an adult you kind of lose that trick-or-treating itch.
Yes.
Some people still have it, but us, we just think it's just too much work just to go to like 3 houses across from each other and just get like maybe 1 or 2 pieces of candy. Exactly. When you could just literally go to the store and just get a whole bag.
Exactly. You can just go to Walgreens or Walmart or Jewel or Tony's or wherever you can buy, even the Dollar Tree. Wherever you go get candy, you can just get a shit ton and say hey, Happy Halloween to yourself.
There was a time that I spent like $80 worth of candy.
I remember that. That is true. Randy
had three big ass bags of candy. And it cost me like almost $100.
And he called me while he was doing it. He's like, hey, Elbro, I got something to tell you. Like, what did you do now? He's like, oh, let's just say I went too crazy on candy. I said, what did you do? He said, oh, I bought 3 bags of candy. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do with 3 bags? He said, well, 1 for the trick-or-treaters and 2 for me.
Yeah, 2... I was just being sure the camera's still rolling. It still is. Yeah, I had like 3 full bags of like candy, and a good half of it never really gotten eaten. It was just kind of like just collecting dust under the bed because I didn't have any other spot to put out the candy.
But I remembered I helped him flex some of his bags. One time, he introduced me to a candy that I never heard of before, and it's called Crunch. And
you never heard of Nestle Crunch before?
No! Not Crunch. It's that thing that you had. It was like chocolatey mixed in rice. You had it. I think it was Crush or Crunch or some weird shit like that.
That's what it was, Nestle Crunch. Since we are on the topic of candy, what is your favorite candy of all time?
Oh man, my favorite candy of all time is Snickers. That is my number 1 favorite candy. I have eaten Snickers my entire life. I've had Snickers ice cream, I've had a Snickers drink, I've had Snickers candy, but the one Snickers thing that I haven't had my hands on, and I know it exists, a Snickers brownie. I know
Snickers brownie? Ooh.
I know it exists, and I haven't got my hands on it. And I wished I could get my hands on it because I love brownie and I love Snickers.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I think I know who sells it too.
Joel Osco.
Joel Osco's got that. You just gotta make it though. Like it's not like pre-made.
No. I heard it's in a box.
Yeah, but you still gotta make the brownie mix.
Really?
Yeah, you still gotta bake it. It's not.
I thought it was already made, and you can just pick it up.
Well, if that's the case, then I'll go to Jewel right now tonight and see. I'll see if they got the Snickers brownies, and I'll buy some.
Now, what about you, Randy? The viewers know my favorite is Snickers. What's your favorite candy of all time?
It really depends because I'm a sucker for sugar. So, Nerds is really good. Sweet Tarts is really good. Gobstoppers are good. Swedish Fish is good. Sour Patch Kids is good. But I would say my all-time favorite Halloween candy, the one that I'll always get, is the Sweet Tarts. I really like the Sweet Tarts. They're one of my favorite. But if I were to go to the chocolate portion, it's definitely either Snickers or a Twix.
Oh yeah, Twix are good. My second favorite are Milky Ways. I love Milky Ways.
Oh, Milky Ways are good too. Yeah, we like a ton of chocolate. We like Three Musketeers, Milky Way. I don't know if you're into Almond Joy.
Not really.
Snickers.
If I ever want an
Reese's,
almond, I'll go
cup.
through the Snickers almond section.
Yeah, definitely Snickers. But I like milk chocolate and caramel chocolates. You know, I got some Gardellis still. They're just like.
And it's amazing. They're great. If you ever want to pick up a box of the chocolate that Randy just said.
Gardelli.
And it's really, really good. It's like that milky, chocolatey taste. Like when you bite into it, it like just melts into your mouth. And once when it melts, that's the best type of chocolate that you can find.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey at the point. I think like for that bag it was like $10. $10 for like a bunch of chocolate. But it's still really good. I still got a bunch more. I'm definitely gonna eat some more tonight. And I got like a candy bag of like Swedish Fish, Sour Patch Kids. For some reason they got Bubblicious bubblegum now in this thing, and I've never heard that shit before. That was one of my favorite gums as a kid, was the Bubblicious strawberry flavored bubblegum. Now, those of you that really enjoy candy, give us some suggestions of candies that you have tried or anything that we discussed. Leave it down in the comments below.
Yeah, because we like candy. We also like to eat it, and we also like to talk about it as well too. So let us know down whichever ones you like.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that has been this episode 2 podcast, Halloween special for the Hookah Sesh with Elbreezy podcast. Hope you guys enjoy. If you like the content, give it a like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we make a new podcast or video.
And happy Halloween,
you
motherfuckers. And watch out for the nightmare, E. Kruger.
Take care, guys. Happy Halloween.